Man, I thought it was December the way all these deals were coming out. You get an extension and you get an extension. Normally that's in December, but man, it must be Christmas in April because MLB guys are getting paid. We got that. We got MLB talk. We got college basketball wrapping up. We got a little bit of NFL talk. And we got a brand new intro for y'all. That's right. Uncooked up in the lab. We got an intro. And without further ado, our brand new intro. Welcome to Flag on the Take. It is Wednesday, April 9th, and it is your guys, Cole and Jordan here, and it's just back to us two. We had Luke the past couple weeks, but it's back to the OG days, baby. We got Unc and Neff. Let's get it. We got baseball talk, and I just cannot wait to get into baseball talk. It's making me stutter all over myself. But before we get into that, this episode is brought to you by Huga House. Looking for top-of-the-line quality hats, beanies, long sleeves, and hoodies at a competitive price? Check out Huga House and use code FLAG15 for 15% off your purchase. That's FLAG15 for 15% off at checkout. Worn by people such as Aaron Rodgers, Shane Gillis, Shohei Ohtani, Josh Allen, and more. Shop Huga House today. And before we jump into it, I just want to say, everyone, if you liked the intro or if you like the content, please drop a like. Take the 2 extra seconds to scroll down just a little bit. Hit that subscribe button. At time of recording, we are 18 away from 100 subscribers. We are on the road for 100. So make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. And also make sure you're going and following us on social media on TikTok and Instagram that you just saw in the amazing intro that was cooked up by Jordan. If you liked his intro, make sure you let him know in the comments. Uncooked for sure. What's up, bro? How you doing?
What's going on? First and foremost, let's clap it up for the intro. Let's clap it up for that intro.
Yes, sir, dude. That shit was awesome.
Long time coming. We know,
a little overdue, but it's okay.
A little bit more official for us now.
It's a little overdue.
A lot of it overdue,
We're
but
only 28 episodes late. It's fine.
How many months is that?
We've been doing this since September, so 6 months?
That's as long as my relationship right now. But regardless, very happy about it. Glad I got it done. Hope you guys like it. But yeah, I'm feeling good, man. Really feeling great. On this fine. Well, we're recording Tuesday. It'll drop Wednesday, but on this fine Tuesday, how you feeling, man?
Hey, man, I'm feeling great. And you know what? I know a few people that are feeling just a slightly bit better than we are.
Take us into it.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because people are getting paid in Major League Baseball. What? That's right, they're getting paid. It's extension season. So normally in baseball, there's this thing called the winter meetings, and that's when all the GMs and agents and whatnot get together, and they go shoot the shits, hang out by the pool, just casually just negotiate some deals and whatnot. And that's normally when you get a lot of the extensions, a lot of trades, a lot of guys signing in free agency. And it's kind of like the equivalent of the NFL scouting combine, but MLB doesn't try to hide it like the NFL does.
They're just like, yeah, we're just going to meet up and we're going to get this stuff done, so let's do it.
Yeah, so we'll start with the big fish first. So this has been a long time coming, is a way to word it. I'm not necessarily thrilled about this because I'm going to have to compete against this guy for the rest of his career because this contract will take him through his age 40 season. That is right, the Canadian homegrown kid, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., inks his extension. Toronto has always been chasing the big fish, but always just coming up just a little short because most guys don't want to leave the country and live in Canada and all this stuff. And plus, the Jays aren't really that good. They're normally an average team. Their prospects have also been depleted in trades. So a lot of people haven't wanted to play for the Jays. They normally have to overpay. And Vlad Jr., this has been a thing for a few years now where Jays fans are like, hey, you got to pay Vladdy. Like, you got to lock him up now while you can. And Jay's like, yeah, we'll get to it. And so they then didn't get to it. And now over this offseason, when they really should have gotten to it, Vlad was like, hey, man, look, I want to be here. I'm from Canada. I could go on the open market and get 14 years, $600 million. No problem. But since I'm from Canada, 14 years, $500 million. I'll sign in blood right now. And Toronto was like, ha, nope. So then they keep trying to lowball him. Like, you keep lowballing your star. Like, he said, which is, he's not lying, that he could get $600 million on the open market. He's already giving them $100 million off at $500 for the life of the contract, which is $35.7 a year. And then the Jays' first counteroffer was $400 million, and Vlad Jr. was like,
"You fucking with me, right?"
And so Vlad is a very not outspoken. He's not a Micah Parsons, right? He's not going to go to the media
from the way that he's been handling it and how you've been saying it. I can tell.
Yeah, so he's not a very go to the media. Like, he wants to keep this in house, but they kept, it was like 400, and then it was like 425, and then it was 450, and it was just like, ugh. So he goes to the media and is like, they keep lowballing me with like 425. And he's like, I'm not signing that shit. So the Jays were like, oh no, he went to the media. And then in the media, he was like, my deadline is opening day. They don't sign me by opening day, I'm gone. I'm going to free agency.
Oh, man.
So now once the season started and he didn't sign, the Jays were like, dude, the Jays... How do you even let it get to this point? You know what I mean? Like,
I'm trying to think of an equivalent of this that I can think of off the top of my head. I would probably... This is how I feel it is negotiating with Jerry Jones. I'm going to say that. Because I feel like when they got to pay Micah...
The Jays aren't normally like this. Like, they had no problem paying Tony. They had no problem paying...
So they're not usually stingy like that?
No, but the guys that they paid are getting like $100 million, $150 million.
Yeah, versus 500.
Not like this amount. So I guess they thought Vlad would come down, but then it gets to opening day and Vlad still refuses to sign, and they're like, uh-oh. So then he was still firm on his 500, and they came to him a week later and were like, hey, Vlad, you remember that $500 million you said you would sign if we offer it? Here it is. And so then he signs it, which... sucks for me as an Orioles fan, but unbiasedly for the Blue Jays, they had to do this because the GM and the manager are both on the very, very hot seat because they can't bring anyone in. They've been 500 or below when this team should have been good. So they had to do something. The fan base was starting to turn on them. So this should at least buy them another year. Excuse me, and help them lure.
What are their prospects looking like? I know you were saying as far as like trades is a little bit depleted, but do they have anybody that might be exciting when they get moved up?
I mean, they have Ricky Tiedemann, their top pitching prospect. Let me look up who their top prospects are. Let me see if they're selling. It's like... So right now they have Namala, but he's very young. He's 19, and he's from... I forget where he's from, but he's still very far out. He's at high A baseball. Like, he's not close. And then they got Trey Savage. I mean, same thing, a young pitcher, but he's also in A ball, so he's not really close. Ricky Tiedemann, like I said, but he's coming back from Tommy John. He's still only 22 years old, but he's not going to be ready to pitch till 2026. But he should be ready then. They have Alan Roden that's on their main roster right now, but he's okay. I'm not really seeing any other names that are really standing out at me right now, or anyone who's necessarily close. Mason Fluharty's pretty good, but he's not going to, change everything for them. So, yeah, their farm system's pretty depleted, in my opinion. They traded a lot of the prospects away to get guys in. So that definitely doesn't help them. But now it should help them to sign guys knowing that Vladdy's in there long term. So if I was the owner, now that Vladdy's under contract, I'd fire the GM and the manager and be like, all right, Vladdy, you and me, we're picking the new GM, we're picking the new manager.
Give him that LeBron treatment. La GM.
Vladdy. Vladdy.
Vladdy. What do you think?
I mean, that's what they're going to have to do because Toronto, they had a team that was really good in, the early 2010s, mid-2010s, around the same time the Orioles were last good. But that team obviously went nowhere. So, I don't know. This is a great deal for Vladdy. I mean, big thing is no deferrals. So, the Blue Jays are not getting out of this any cheaper than they would have, doing the deferrals, the
You were telling me
stuff.
about deferrals. Yeah.
So Vladdy's getting $500,000. He's not going to lose money out on it too. So good for him getting what he got. And quite frankly, I don't really think he lost that much because most teams that were going to pay him $600 are going to want to defer it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think he really lost out here, and he gets to stay where he wants to stay. So I don't hate that deal. But
are baseball contracts incentivized a lot of the time, or is it mostly like here up front?
I mean, normally incentives are for the guys who aren't as good. Like the good guys normally don't have incentive full contracts, but the guys on the fringes are like, all right, we'll give you $1 million, but if you play really well, you can earn up to 6.
Okay.
So like that's normally where you'll see it, but this next deal, this agent should be like fired, bro. Like.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Yes, like, really bad, dude. Now, I get it, like, it's hard to turn down money that's, like, right in front of you at present moment. Like, that's hard to turn down, especially when you're the ripe age of 21 or 22 years old. So, like, I get that, but, like, dude, it's the amount of years. Like, I don't hate the dollar amount for the kid, but it's the amount of years. Like, Jackson Merrill signs a 9-year, $135 million contract. I mean, $135 million is still awesome. He's playing in California.
Still generational wealth, but, like,
Yeah.
I'm guessing compared to what he could have gotten or, like, different contracts, this kind of seems like a low ball.
Oh, my God. So, like,
Yeah.
he's in California, so he's automatically going to lose half of it to taxes.
Heck yeah, them taxes, was it 12%? Something crazy like
Something absurd. But
Yeah.
it's not the 135 that I hate. It's the 9 years. So the rookie contract is 5 to 6 years, depending on how well you play, because like you can get like time like taken off. So 3 of his free agent years were bought out,
Which
and
is
like
wild.
at a very very low value. Now I get it; he'll be 30 years old when he hits free agency again, so he can cash in one more time. But like, he left a lot of money on the table. And Jackson Merrill came out and was like, "Yeah, I left a lot of money on the table because I want them to be able to build a team around me." You're an idiot. The Padres they're not going to build around you, bro. Like, they already got a new owner who said he's strapped for cash. Like, they're not going to build around you. So, they already have Machado and Bogarts on big deals. Tatis on a big deal. But, like, Michael King and Dylan Cease, their 2 starters, are both in their walk years. So, if they don't bring back either of them, they're not going to have any starting pitching. So, Padres got an absolute fleece here.
Cooked.
Yeah, Jackson Merrill, like, if this was like 7 for 135, I'd have been like, dude, let's go. He cooked.
Yeah.
But 9 years is a long time.
Yeah, nine's wild.
And like we said, like, it's generational wealth. Like, I'm not saying that I would have turned it down because I'd take $135 million. But I guess, like,
Exactly.
I mean, like, you never know,
Yeah.
like next season he could suck and never be this good again. Like, I get all
Or,
that.
Lord forbid, any type of injury. So, like, I understand wanting to get that money while
Yeah.
you got it now.
Yeah, but man, even if it was 8 for 135, I'd have been like, okay, this is a pretty good deal. It's the fact that it's 9, dude. It's like, eek. But he's happy and he's got generational wealth. So I mean, good for him. I love Jackson Merrill. He's one of my favorite players in all of baseball. Shout out Severna Park. That's where he's from.
That's where he's from?
Drafted
Oh,
in
heck
the
yeah.
first
Shout
round,
out
right
Severna
out of
Park.
Severna Park. Didn't even go to
Yeah.
college.
Shout
Drafted
out.
right out of there. So he became one of my favorite players in baseball because of that, and he's really, really freaking good. Arguably could have won Rookie of the Year last year, but lost to Paul Skeens for obvious reasons.
It's Paul
But-
Skeens. Because he's with Livy Dunn. Obviously.
Bro, their photo shoot, wild. Not going to get into it.
I didn't see it.
You didn't see it?
Should I go back and not now, but like after? Should I?
I mean, like, it's
Yeah.
nothing, like, absurd, but it's just like, bro,
Okay.
like, this guy is in the middle of the season, and bro's doing a photo shoot with this
Probably
magazine.
looked like a J.C. Penney photo shoot. Too.
Yes, it did. Yup. So, like,
That's
whatever.
crazy.
But speaking of deals, so this next guy,
Mm-hmm.
so Christian Campbell with the Boston Red Sox, 8 years, $60 million. Now, I will say, I see the argument for both sides. Like, Boston, like, is taking a risk because he's only played 7 games in Major League Baseball.
Oh,
So they're giving him $60 million.
that's kind of a
8
wild
years,
deal
$60
for
mil.
that. I feel.
Yeah, but like this guy is really good.
Okay.
So like if he becomes,
Has it been injuries or has they just been?
This is his first. This is rookie year.
Okay.
So this guy could be as good as Jackson Merrill. Like, he could win Rookie of the Year this year. Like, that's how good this guy is. But I see his side. He was a late round pick, had to bust his ass and earn everything. He wasn't a millionaire coming to play for Boston. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't get that big signing bonus or nothing like that. So this kid wasn't a millionaire coming up to play for Boston. And like, hey kid, you've played 7 games. You haven't proven jack shit in Major League Baseball. Here's $60 million. Like, that's hard to turn down.
That's a risk, but I mean,
here's the thing, right?
He's as good.
But the thing about top prospects is that, like, they're not guaranteed to pan out. You know what I mean? Like, everyone thought Trevor Lawrence was a can't-miss prospect. Kind of a miss. We're not going to do it.
Fairness.
It's a comp. It's a comp. I'm not here to argue. It's a comp.
What you saying? Okay.
Like, top prospects don't always pan out, okay? Like, if you got another comp that you want to give, that's fine. That was just the first one that came to mind in terms of...
I was just going to say situation.
Second overall
situation
pick,
definitely matters.
Zach Wilson. Top prospect. Didn't pan out. So, it's like the same thing with Christian Campbell. He was a nobody because he got drafted late, but busted his ass and did really good in the minor leagues. Became a top prospect, but never got paid like a top prospect. Because these top prospects, they get like $6, $7, $8 million signing bonuses. So they're still millionaires when they get there, like to coast off of. But this kid didn't get the big signing bonus, so 7 games, like, there have been guys who have been hot for a month and then hit, bat 100 the rest of the season. You know what I mean? So for this kid, after 7 games, to get $60 million fully guaranteed over the course of 8 years, I don't blame him one bit for signing it, because for all we know, by May 8th, he could suck and be back in AAA. You know what I mean? So, now granted, if he's as good as everyone thinks he's going to be, he definitely left pennies on the dollar, because he's going to be making less than $8 million a year, and he lost 2 of his free agency years.
Yeah. But I feel like it's a chance. Well, no, because like you said, they'd have his rights. It's a little bit different in baseball, so he might be cooked in that sense. Yeah.
Now, he'll be 30 when he hits free agency like Jackson Merrill. Like, so he'll still be in line to get another big deal if he is as good as everyone thinks he is. So sure, he definitely left pennies on the dollar, but like, you haven't proven jack shit, and it's only been a week, so like, you very easily could just be good for a month, and then people figure you out, and you suck for the rest of your life. So for that kid to get $60 million fully guaranteed without proving anything, and from being a late round draft pick to busting his ass to make it to the show and become a top prospect, good for Christian Campbell. I'm not mad about it on his side. I definitely think he left money on the table, but I don't blame him one bit for taking the guaranteed money.
How much more do you think he could have gotten?
If he could have got a deal like Jackson Merrill, less years, but like around that same money. He could have gotten like a 7 for 135 in it, like this time next year. But hey, take the guaranteed money, kid, because for all you know, you could be in AAA by next month.
I'm about to say, like you said, you never know what could have went on this year, whether or how long.
So I don't blame him one bit for taking it. The Red Sox definitely got a steal if he's as good as they think he is. But hey, I'm happy for the kid because he finally got paid. No matter what happens, he's got $60 million to his name. So good for him. I love the story and whatnot. And then the last extension that was handed out that was of relevance was Ketel Marte, the MVP candidate for the Arizona Diamondbacks, gets $64 million in new money that keeps him tied to the club through his age 35 or 36 season. So I think it's an additional like 3 or 4 years on the contract. Like, it fully guarantees all of his option years plus, because he had option years on his current contract. It fully guarantees those and adds $64 million in new money on the end of it. So he's definitely good. Like, they definitely got good value.
Oh, he got money. He's straight.
I don't want to call him a first ballot Hall of Famer, but like Mike Evans. But like, he's one of those guys that like nobody talks about how great he is, but every year he's like top 5 in MVP voting.
And the category. Oh, yeah.
He's not a first ballot Hall of Famer like Mike. Don't get me wrong, but like, he's one of those dogs that like is top 5 every
consistently
year.
Is top at. Okay, yeah.
But nobody talks about it because he's just not a big name player.
I think the Mike Evans comp is very.
So shout out Ketel Marte getting 64 M's in new money. Shout out the Diamondbacks keeping their best player. Diamondbacks, dude, they're off to a tough start. Orioles are playing them right now, but. That team is loaded, dude. I don't know what Luke was smoking, man. That team is loaded. So good for Cattell, man. But I want to get your take on it. So now that I've kind of broke it down for you, what do you think? So like NFL, right? First round picks, they can't negotiate an extension till year 3, no matter what.
Unless you're a top 10 pick, first round. But well, regardless, you're a first rounder. You always got that 5th year option. But I'll let you finish what you were saying, then I'll go into it.
But certain teams locked up their guy after year 3. I think it was like Joe Burrow got locked up after year 3. Like Mahomes, not Lamar, but like top guys get locked up after year 3. I think Justin Herbert did.
Yep.
So that's the
I
earliest,
think he did too.
No matter what in the NFL, like no matter how badly Washington wants to, they cannot extend Jaden Daniels right now because he has not been year 3. So, A, what do you think that would look like in football if they were allowed to just negotiate extensions at any point in time? And B, what do you think about it in baseball? Like now that I've broken it down in like terms that you and other casual baseball fans can understand, what's your opinion on it? Like, do you think it's good for baseball? Do you think it's good for the players? Do you think it's good for both, or do you think it sucks for everybody?
Okay. You want to go? What it would look like in football first, or you want?
You can start wherever you want. You can start wherever you want.
I'll start with baseball first. So in terms of baseball, I agree with your takes as far as. I think it's very circumstantial, which I feel like you can say that for everything, because you got the Christian Campbell situation. I feel like that's more so, even though unproven, he has his money up front, and I'm all for players getting. Say it again.
He wasn't a millionaire when he signed it. Like
that's what I'm saying. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, getting your money, and even though it's not proven, again, I'm all for players getting paid. So getting that guarantee. Now, once again, it's up to him to play up to it. But regardless, these organizations or clubs, whichever, they're always going to treat
both.
Yeah, they're always going to treat the players like a cog in the machine, regardless. They love you as long as you're making them money. So like,
what do you think
why
about
not
Boston
get yours
giving
while you're
$60
playing
million to the kid who's only played a week in the majors? I want to know your take on that. I mean, Boston, you got to think about how much money the Red Sox make. So like $60 million in the grand scheme of things to them, like, isn't a big deal. But like if like the Orioles or like the Pirates or like a team that like doesn't make a lot of money did that, like, do you think the risk is?
It depends on the market. Sox are in New York, so it's Boston. Sorry, but yeah, again, bigger market, especially with the Celtics and like the Patriots. So they. Do
you think it was smart of them to do it?
I think it was smart of them to do it. I think it was smart for both sides, to be completely honest. Because like again, say that right now. I'm giving an example, even though I haven't gone into the football stuff yet. Like you said, say right now that the Commanders would lock up Jaden Daniels. If they could lock him up today, they would. Because the quarterback market is going to get crazier and crazier and crazier. If they could extend this dude right now today, give him $250 million today, they would. So again, we consider Jaden Daniels, even though it's year 1, we still consider him upper echelon of his position, correct?
But it's a great comp because Jackson Merrill's only played 1 year and Christian Campbell played a week. This is like
that's what I'm saying.
Daniels' breakout game in week 4, and Washington was like, gotta pay him right now.
Yeah. And then he still proceeds to do like now if he can go to the NFC Championship in this first year, then I feel like it was worth it.
Like if he helps lead them to a deep playoff run. Okay. So for them, that's the ALC.
Regardless, it's worth it for him.
Oh yeah, like you're not even a millionaire yet, and you can take care of you, your mama, your sister, your brother, your auntie, your uncle. Yeah, man.
That's why I'm for it. For me, it's no love lost on the organizations because I do feel like they be doing players dirty anyway.
Without a doubt, brother.
Yeah, so like for me, I'm all for the players getting paid. You'll never hear me complain about it. Now, hometown discounts, I only care about if it's my team. You know what I'm saying?
Are you talking about Jackson Merrill's deal?
Yeah. I only care if it's my team. Like, say I don't know. TJ has an extension coming up. Well, he does. TJ has an extension coming up. Say he doesn't take another hometown discount, which I don't think he will. I think he's going to try to break the bank.
I think they missed their opportunity with that. But proceed.
Oh yeah, they definitely did. Especially with the Max. Talk to me for another. You know, we got people coming up like Micah Parsons and them, but it's like once again, only way I would care is if I was a fan of the organization, and I'm like, okay, if we pay this player, we're going to be handicapped in other areas that I know we need to get better at. So, since I really have no skin in the game, I'm still going to say good for him, I guess.
That's a lot of faith in your organization, too.
It is. It really is.
This isn't football where you have to spend X amount of dollars. Like,
yeah.
The Padres can just be like, you know what? I'm low on cash. I'm just going to sit here and not pay anybody for the next few years.
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know. It's a difference. Again, circumstantial. I think it all comes back to circumstance.
Well, think about it, right? Like, this guy, if Paul Skeens wasn't the greatest pitcher in baseball, this guy would have, like, unanimously won NL Rookie of the Year. So you got to think, like, so let's say, who was second place for Rookie of the Year?
I guess Jaden Daniels would be a really good comp then.
Who was, like, second place for Rookie of the Year? Was it Bo Nix?
As far as offensively, I'm pretty sure it was Bo Nix.
Okay, so, like, think of it like Bo Nix, if Jaden Daniels didn't exist, would have won Rookie of the Year.
Oh, yeah, easily.
So, like, if Paul Skeens, Jaden Daniels didn't exist, Jackson Merrill, Bo Nix, not saying they're the same player, but, like, would have unanimously won it. So, like, and plus he's off to a good start this year, too. So, I don't know. Like, I want to hear your thoughts on it.
I think it's a risk. Dude. It's a risk, man. Because like you said, you barely
this kid's just scratching the surface, dude.
Yeah. Which is also why I feel like you're just paying for potential, which is fine if you have the money to do it.
But like $135 million is hard to say no to.
Yeah.
Me personally, well, now granted, we have to keep in mind that he did say he left money on the table.
Yeah.
Willingly.
For sure. Because he said, but like you said, they're not building around him, regardless.
But like, because I was going to say, like, the negotiations should have started at 150. He probably should have got 200. But like, we can't really talk about that because he said he willingly left the money. So, I guess that's a different. I guess that's what makes it like difficult. But yeah, so do you think these long-term extensions are good for the game of baseball? So like Vladdy, he will never hit free agency.
No, I don't. If they could give them the same amount, like $35 million a year, but on like a shorter deal, like give them maybe like in the eight range, like 7 to 8 range.
But you got to think, like, not everyone gets these long-term deals. I mean, we're talking Aaron Judge,
but 14
Soto,
or 14 years. 14 years is insane. I'm going back to the Vladdy one, but like 14 years is insane.
Well, I mean, I think Juan got like 13, 14, 15 years on his deal.
Yeah.
And
then the only
got 10
one
on his.
Yeah, and then Pat Mahomes got a
10
baseball contract. Pat Mahomes had 10 for, was it 500?
So like it's tough to think because like on one hand, like let's say the Orioles gave Gunnar Henderson 14 years for $500 million. As a fan of the Orioles, I love that because I know for the next 14 years my Henderson jersey is going to be relevant. But as a non-Blue Jays fan, like knowing that like knowing that he'll never hit free agency and we won't have that like drama of him in free agency, that kind of sucks. But the problem is that guys don't want to take shorter deals because MLB free agency is so terrible. It is.
I will also ask you, do you feel like if it was more NFL like in the sense of every year there's some big splash or a couple of big splashes, do you feel like it would help the game of baseball more if these guys weren't locked to these long-term contracts? Okay.
Because think of it like NBA, like when LeBron was going to hit free agency, like that was a huge deal. Like everyone knew where he was going, but it was still like, dude, LeBron could go anywhere.
He's gone, yeah.
Yeah. Or like when like Brady finally decided to hit free agency, like Tom
now that was really that every single second of every single day on First Take, ESPN,
That's what I'm
all
saying.
of those, they were, where's LeBron going to go? Or where's Brady going to go?
Like baseball needs like headlines like that. So like to talk about like, so like when Juan Soto was a free agent, that was huge for baseball because that was news everywhere. Where's Juan Soto going?
Mm-hmm.
Like when Aaron Judge hit free agency, that was huge. Where is Aaron Judge going? But like we won't get that again. Like KD hitting free agency. Like
huge.
KD signed a 10-year deal with the Suns.
Yeah.
Like,
Kyrie been on like 3-4 teams, and we still talk about him every time he hits free agency.
Now
Where's
I know MLB like prides itself on its stars being one jersey players, so like I get that part, but like if you're trying to generate more interest, and now you could do like the 5-year contract, but then like as soon as they're eligible, they'll just re-sign again right away.
Yeah.
So like it kind of offsets that way, and like I said, not everyone gets the super long-term deals, but the problem with MLB free agency is that you could be elite. So you have a 6-year rookie deal, right? Year 1 through 5, you're an all-star, all-MLB, couple silver sluggers, which is like means you're the best hitter at your position. Couple gold gloves means you're the best fielder at your position. You're awesome year 1 through 5. Year 6, you could miss half the year with a torn hamstring, come back, bat 200 with 3 homers, and the next thing you know, even though you were a top 10 player in all of baseball, you had one shitty year, and teams are like, well, I'll give you 1 year for $10 million. Whereas if year 5, you sign an extension for 10 years, $500 million. You know what I mean? Like, baseball's so cutthroat in free agency, and I think that's why guys are willing to sign these long deals, because they're like, I'm not doing that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to have one bad year and then get cutthroat and told I'm worth $10 million.
Yeah,
last year,
crazy,
I could have signed 14 for $500.
When you put it like that, that's crazy, yeah. So I feel like in terms of the players, I guess it helps them a little bit more because it gives them more guarantees. But it is also, I feel like baseball, now, worldwide is definitely more recognized as far as and like American football is concerned. I feel like NBA is also very worldwidely recognized, but for baseball, because like you got internet, it's nothing but international players in baseball. Like I feel like it's, I don't want to say it's niche, but it kind of is, because I feel like it's one of those things that it's hard to get into, but once you're in, you're in.
What?
If that makes any sense? Yeah.
What do you mean, as a fan
like
or as a player?
I mean, kind of in like both perspectives. I feel like it's very niche, and I feel like this skill, as far as a fan, yes, but also like as far as playing wise as well. Like it's a very skill based game, like more so than
and it's
a lot
so
of other
difficult
games that we
too, because like
Yeah.
NFL and NBA, like it's normally very slow declines. Like
and if you're an athlete, you could be the worst as far as like I don't even know how to compare it to watching film or something like that, but still be pretty decent because you're just an athlete.
Which is crazy because like football, like you have 1,600 yards. Next year you have 1,400 yards. Next year you have 1,200 yards. Baseball, 1 year you could hit 320, and the next you hit 180 for the rest of your life. Like it's so up and down because it's so difficult. But yeah, so I just wanted to get your take on that. But we'll get into some MLB news going on right now. We'll start with what the hell is going on in Atlanta. They are 1-8. I had the under on them, but only by like a game, dude. I did not have them going 1-8. Now, hear me out, right? They started on the West Coast. They're an East Coast team starting on the West Coast, playing the Dodgers and the Fathers, who are on fire. So like that doesn't help. And their only free agent signing got suspended for 80 games because of roids. We talked about that last week.
Yeah, we did talk about that. Yep.
Atlanta, like, they just need to get in rhythm. They'll be fine, but it's just, what the hell is what is in the water in Atlanta, dude?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if you've been keeping track of that or not.
Only a little bit. You know who I've been keeping track of because of our boy Luke.
But man, speaking of the Dodgers and the Fathers, dude, that division is on fire. The Fathers are 9-2. The Giants are 8-2. The Dodgers are 9-3.
And Dodgers are 9-3. Yep.
Yeah, Diamondbacks are 5-6. But even then, that's like they should be better than that.
I'm about to say decent enough. They're
same record as the freaking Orioles. So the NL West is a freaking gauntlet. So I'm excited to see how that race turns out. They can't all be good. You got to think 4 out of 5 teams in that division all can't be good with the amount of times that they play each other. So very intrigued to see how that goes. But I mean, you want to talk about the Pirates? We can get into them in their division. So the Pirates,
4-7.
I told him.
Dookie.
Go back and watch the tape. I told Luke they don't have enough bats. Sure enough,
He's a
they don't
homer
have enough
to a
bats.
fault. I do it to be
Yeah.
funny, but I think he's dead serious. I think he
definitely
was
is.
dead serious.
Yeah.
Luke, if you're watching this right now, I know you probably will. You know, I'm sorry.
It's all love,
You know.
Luke.
It is all love. I apologize. You know, we'll still attend
But-
the game. I doubt y'all are going to win, but we'll attend the game.
I told him, dude, you need another bat. Sure enough, they got no bats. So, and plus the owner tried to be a man of the people and walk through the crowd. This guy is so unaware of like situational awareness. Like this guy was being chanted at, sell the team, and he's like,
going to try
okay.
to rock. He's going to try to walk through the crowd.
Yes, and
How did
people
that
were-
go?
Literally went like this close to his face and was like, sell the team, sell the team. You know how them Yinzers are, man. They don't care.
They're very in your face, and they're very passionate. They're some of the most passionate, obnoxious people I have ever seen or met in my entire life. I've never seen anything like Pittsburgh people. Like even when I went up, you know, I'll be going to the Steelers
Training
games yearly,
camp,
right?
Yeah.
Man, dog, they're crazy. I thought like they're not like Bills fans crazy, but they're crazy and they're passionate. So like I can
Yeah.
only imagine. Some Yinzers, sell the team, sell the team.
Bob Nutting, man, the Pirates owner.
You must be some kind of a dumbass.
He must be like, why did you think that was a good idea?
Surprised they didn't jump him.
Well, he had he had a security team walking with him.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm just
they
saying,
weren't
man,
they weren't
yeah,
gonna get
no.
hands on, but
I've seen this video, very off topic, but I've seen this video of this rapper. Bro, he's like this
God.
Ghanaian rapper. Bro, he tried to crowd surf and they snatched his chain and took his shirt off. Bro, I was
no.
crying. I was crying. His security was up on stage and he jumped out, bro. When I say they grabbed him, I'm gonna send you the video if I can find it. You will die laughing, bro. They yoke him up. It's like 15 hands on him, and they snatch his chain and they're like taking his shirt off, and he's like screaming at his security, and they're just watching him. Yo, it was the funniest video ever. Oh my gosh.
Oh man, but. Moving on to another team in that division, the Cincinnati Reds. They're also 4-7 like the Pirates. Now, if you take out their 11-7 win against the Brewers, in the last 7 games, how many runs do you think this team has scored in 7 games?
In 7 games,
Yeah, besides their
I'm
11-7
gonna say at
win.
least 5.
They've only scored 6 runs across 7 games. Yeah. That's why they're off to a 4.
That's only one bad, and I was lowballing.
What's crazy is they lost
Ugh.
3 games in a row, 1-0. 3 in a row.
6 runs in the
1-0.
last 7 games is crazy.
You lose 3 games, 1-0. What more can your pitching staff do?
Nothing.
So, I mean, the Reds, they have Terry Francona they brought out of retirement. It's like a team bringing Bruce Arians out of retirement. Like a Hall of Fame coach, but like he's definitely
Kinda
older.
cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they'll figure it out. They got some studs on that team, but man, the start is horrific.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can just go right to the Orioles because they're getting on my last goddamn nerve. As of recording, I don't think Zach Eflin has an update. I'm checking it right now.
Apparently, it was just a precautionary measure them pulling him.
Allegedly, they said they were doing tests. I'm trying to see if they. released-
Test doesn't sound precautionary. I heard it was
Yeah.
just fatigue.
Well, yeah, they said it was fatigue, but they said they're gonna get testing done on it. Yeah, I haven't seen it. There's no update at time of recording. So.
That sounds fishy. Testing for fatigue.
Well, I mean, it's baseball pitchers. I mean, they're
They
always
do
gonna,
that. Yeah, well, yeah, they're gonna.
they're
get tested,
always
yeah,
going to
but
take
still.
tests when it comes to their arms and stuff. But we have no Eflin. We have no Suarez, who wasn't really that good, but he was.
Somebody just got put on IL too. Who?
Suarez.
Okay, yeah, Suarez. Okay.
Yeah, he's on the 60-day IL with he pulled some muscle. In
Yeah,
his
I'm about to
shoulder.
say they said he's gonna miss a couple months.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
Chase McDermott, our top pitching prospect, he's out right now, coming back from a lat or an oblique, one or the other. Trevor Rogers, who's absolute dog shit, but is a starting pitcher, he's out right now. Kyle Gibson, who we signed, isn't ready yet. So sounds like Brandon Young's gonna get his shot. He's a guy who was like a late draft pick and has busted his ass and is now one of the Orioles' top pitching prospects. Mm-hmm. So he's gonna get a shot. We don't know that officially yet because they haven't announced anything about Zach Eflin. But if Zach Eflin hits the injured list, that's who's next man up. So
also shout out to Eflin. He's a cool guy.
Oh, he's a dog, dude, and he just goes out and shoves.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
But Chuck Morton, ass. Tomiyuki Sugano exited the first game, but second game was pretty good, so I'll give him that. But, like, he's unproven. This is his first year in Major League Baseball. Also, his nickname is Tommy Sugar. I love that. That's what I refer to him as.
Tommy Sugar.
Tommy Sugar. And then we got Dean Kramer, who's Dean Kramer for better or worse.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent number 4, average number 3. Problem if he's your number 2. And then Cade Povich as our 5, this is his second season in Major League Baseball. This will be his first full season if he stays up with the team. He's a dog, but, I mean, he needs some run support. Both of his games he didn't get run support, and he got hoed by his defense in his last start because Jorge Mateo dropped 2 balls that allowed all of the winning runs in. Orioles lost that game 4-1. 3 runs came in because Mateo's dumb as shit. I genuinely despise that guy.
I'm going to let you finish off first.
The Orioles are just blind loyal to this guy. It pisses me off. He sucks at defense. He's statistically
Is it just an effort thing, or does he just suck?
No, he just sucks.
Okay.
Statistically one of the worst hitters in baseball. Yes, he's fast, but being fast doesn't matter if you don't get on base.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand the blind loyalty to him. They just refuse to cut him. I don't get it. He
got dirt.
Dude, he must. Must. So I don't know why else they keep him. But what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, all Red Sox slander around here, I know it's a little off topic. I'm going to tell the people just real quick the story that I told you, just so they know how much we hate them. So, for those of you who don't know, I got a little part-time job with the Orioles. I do like events and like help with like the marketing and stuff like that. So,
we do not care.
I worked on April 3rd for the Red Sox game. Let me tell you that's crazy, by the way. I'll tell you what these members did real quick. Just real quick. We had an event for the elderly, or just people who are a little bit on the older side. It wasn't just like
What?
Technically seniors. So the event was they got to walk the field. So they didn't get to walk on the diamond or anything like that. They were walking kind of like on the side, like around the bases. You could see the players and stuff warming up, whatever. Long story short, I'm by the dugout, the Red Sox dugout, right? They decide to put one of their pitching machines down on the pathway where these people have to walk. Like, we literally have a designed path that has little like a little fence up that we got, the little gate thing that we got. Put it up so they know, walk here, walk to the, keep walking straight, walk to your left, and then just walk out. So now they decide to put it right smack in the middle. They tear down the little gate right there and just decide to just practice right there, right then and there.
You know what they said?
Those poor old people had to turn back around and walk up the stairs the way they came. And I know what they said. Cue it.
I'm not making myself clear. I don't give a fuck.
And then proceeds to tap our cheeks that day. Awful, awful day.
You know what you should have told them, man? You should have told them,
Go fuck yourself.
Yo, we actually let them do it. Like, when they started doing it, I was looking at my bosses. I'm like, they're just like, I'm like, okay, I guess. We're just going to let them do it. I don't get paid enough for this. I'm just going to sit here, I guess. Like, I got nothing to do with it. But, yeah, nothing but Red Sox slander around here. I just wanted to get that out there. All right, we can move on.
Fully and always. But before we get out of here, we'll just hit on the men's college basketball tournament, the March Madness that happened. After Maryland got eliminated, this tournament was so chalky, it was really hard for me to stay interested in terms of watching because I'm not a fan of chalk. I watch March Madness for the madness, not for the march. You know what I mean? So,
I'm not a Duke fan, but they let me down too because I thought they were going to take it all. They were still my pick.
Hey, I'm the opposite of a Duke fan, man. I loved every second of that part.
Yeah, I'm not a Duke fan, but I definitely thought that they were going at least get one of my picks right. You know, Maryland didn't make it, but I wanted at
I'm
least
so
one of
happy
my picks
Duke
together.
lost, man. And in the fashion they did too, chef's kiss. Blowing it like that couldn't have happened any better.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
my natty pick won Florida, so shout out to them, and especially in a low-scoring game too. So
You make any money off that bracket?
no, but I did win my bracket pool, which was pretty sick.
That's good.
I ended with a score of 141 for those who care. I picked a lot of upsets thinking, there was going to be madness in March, and there was not. So my score, I feel, is a little low because it reflects that. So next year I will have to be more careful with that. But we need March Madness to bring the madness back next year, because if it's like this again next year, dude,
Yikes.
it's going to be tough sledding. But
Yeah.
And then the final thing we wanted to touch on, shout out my girl Paige Buckets getting a natty ring. Way to go out on top, baby.
Yes, sir.
Paige Buckets.
Yes, sir.
Where's she going to? Dallas?
Paige
Is that
Buckets.
who has the number one pick?
I don't even know. I haven't checked the lottery.
I'm pretty sure it's Dallas.
I don't
So
know.
shout out Paige Buckets getting a ring, man. UConn's an absolute
Yeah, man.
wagon in women's basketball.
They're going to be even without her, I think.
Oh yeah, they got some
Shoot.
freshman
Yeah.
center who grabbed like 15 boards and scored like 20 points. So
Unless
They
Juju
30
B. Ballin
beats
got
them.
something to say about it. Juju B. Ballin come back from her ACL.
Juju got a long road ahead of her.
Yeah, she does. I felt so bad when I saw that. Oh,
Oh,
my
dude,
gosh.
I saw it too. Like, it was like right after the Jaden Daniels stuff too. So I was like, "Ugh, not a good look."
I was like, ooh. And then that happened. I was like, oh.
Jaden's mom put the bad juju on her.
I forgot she did the interview. She was talking about he can't have a girlfriend or something like that.
Yeah.
Like she's gonna be
She
checking
said-
any girl. That's
She
crazy.
She said that little hoe can't come around my boy if she's rehabbing.
I'm
from
like,
injury."
man, Jaden is 23 years old. He can make his own decisions.
And it's not even like if
old.
Juju Watkins isn't good enough for him, who is?
I'm gonna tell you something. This is just very like out of the blue. But now that we got on the topics of quarterbacks, I just wanted to tell you something, which you probably already know. Can you believe that Anthony Richardson is only 22 years old?
Yes. I believe it because he was
22 years
I'm
old.
pretty sure he was the youngest player in his draft class.
I think he would have been the youngest quarterback coming out this year still.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And Indianapolis ruined him.
Yeah. Well, in all fairness, he was never an accurate quarterback. But again, we're not going to get into a NFL thing. That's not what we got planned for today. But
Yeah, there wasn't
All
really
right.
much NFL stuff going on, so I didn't think we wanted to force it. We'll wait for when more arises.
yep.
Shout out that shitbox riding by. I don't know if y'all heard it or not. But on that note, Jordan, if you want to lead us out.
Once again, we love you guys, and we appreciate you. Oh, I know what we could bring up. We want to thank you guys because numbers have been going up as of late, and we're very, very appreciative of it. Almost to 100 subscribers on YouTube, like we've already stated. TikTok's been doing really, really well. YouTube Shorts has been doing really, really well.
I'm about to make a name for myself.
Yeah. So we want you guys, please keep it up. If you know anybody or if you yourself like sports and you've just been watching us but you haven't subscribed, please do. Helps the channel out a lot. Please share with anybody might like us. Even if they don't, tell them drop a like anyway. And if they have anything to say it with their chest, we'll respond. But we really appreciate you guys, bro. I love you. Once again, really appreciate you. I know we're in like a weird little thing now. We got baseball, which is good. But I mean, as far as like nothing else really popping off, it's a strange time, but we're making it work. But yeah, I just appreciate you, and let's just keep this train rolling, man. On to 100 subscribers.
Yeah, we are on the quest for 100. You hit the nail on the head about how we're growing at a faster and faster pace. So all I'm gonna leave us with is
We're not going to apologize for winning.
No.
no, we are not. We love you guys, and we can't wait to see y'all next week. See ya.